Well, here she is in all her glory. I finally went and picked it up. Told you guys, I only paid $6 grand for it. It's an older trailer. I was told it's gonna need a deck at some point, which I'm fine with. Some of the boards were replaced, the ones in the middle. These were not, those were not. It does have a, I put all the chains there because I didn't have a spot to put them. That has a mount up here. Now, I'm not gonna take this trailer too seriously. It's definitely not gonna be like a permanent trailer, forever type deal, but it is going to be a trailer that I'm gonna use for a while. And yeah, so definitely gonna go through, fix everything, figure out why there's shit here. Tires were replaced, but again, I like the Cooper Discover AT3s. I will be running those if I ever have a tire go out. But just kind of bought it sight unseen, made a deal over the phone probably about 6 months ago. No, realistically, probably about 2 months ago. It has 8K axles, 2 jacks instead of the one that my had. Yeah, we're gonna be redoing a lot of this stuff, fixing some of the booger welds and going through some of the wiring. They did replace this cable here. Now, it's not the owner of the trailer's fault. It's the, like, obviously getting stuff fixed on the road when you're using it. It's definitely hard to find people that do things correctly. Like, I'm gonna be going over all of the wiring mess in here. I do need to sit down, take the time to rewire all of the brakes. We do have a couple of lights out. I gotta figure out what the deal is with these guys. I have no idea what that is. But yeah, should be about a 16,000 GVWR trailer, which puts me right at about 25,000 pounds. So if I decided to get a 10K GVWR truck, I'd still be non-CDL. We're gonna be replacing lights. I gotta go get my plate put on it. But yeah, there's halogen and LEDs. Obviously, we're gonna replace those. But for what it is, it's a trailer. And I'm pretty sure it's about 32 feet. Maybe we run it, maybe we don't. Let me know if you guys want to see content with me doing freight and maybe a truck every now and again. But the fifth wheel, this thing was an absolute nightmare to get out. I had to pick this thing up, manhandle it myself from the back of the truck to the ground and then pick it up. So that was a pain in the ass, but I will be getting my new neck soon. And yeah, I just didn't have the time to order it and send it down to them. We weren't able to meet up at the right time, so I wasn't actually able to meet him when I went and picked it up. So just did that, grabbed all the paperwork, and then we are good to go up. And yeah, so still looking for a bed. I posted the bumper for sale if I can find one. I was supposed to have one down in Texas. The dude flaked, so never heard anything back from him. But it's got a nice brand new spare, and yeah, it's even bolted in and everything, so everything's good there. Not the greatest thing in the world, but for what it is, it's a trailer. And it's a working trailer. All the lights in the back do work, like I said, minus that one. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna replace all the wiring. Probably just spend a day rewiring everything, putting a junction box up top, putting a junction box back here, and you guys know how I do that shit. Plus, this will help me advertise my business a little bit better because we're going to be fixing things like this. So I'm going to show you what we do for repairing stuff like that, and like this. Repair that. So that light's out. This wiring back here, like whoever did this should not be wiring trailers. Like, they didn't heat shrink that. They didn't heat shrink that. And yeah, just janky wiring altogether. I'm assuming that goes in there. Just absolutely horrid. People really don't take the time to care about what they're doing, but that's where I come in. So I'm gonna get this thing as perfect as possible on the wiring side and the suspension wise side, and I'll show you guys what I can do, because I love doing trailer repairs and I would love to get more work doing trailer repairs. Actually, I would prefer to do trailer stuff over diesel stuff. So let's get down there. Let's go grab this truck. I get a bunch of people in the comments that say shit about me, but at the end of the day, if it were me who fixed this, this wouldn't have happened. I just bought this trailer and he did a bunch of work to it, like new brakes, new tires. Everything was done about 6 months ago and then barely ran. But this wire, they did not heat shrink the fucking heat shrink butt connectors. So I'm gonna do that right now, and we're gonna have brakes, because that is power from the front of the trailer. So I got a new butt connector here, and this time a lighter. So let's get it. That's why I don't trust a lot of people to work on my stuff. So these wires were corroded. This wire here, I have now chopped off this much. Like, it just crimping it. This is how much came off, and then there was another section somewhere. I went and got a smaller butt connector because these are just way too big. Yeah, that's ridiculous. But this, you can see just how much wire was corroded the whole way back. Now, look at that. There's still corrosion in there. Ah, man. If you guys need trailer repair done correctly, hit me up, because that's not right. I'm gonna cut this all the way back until I can figure out where it is, and we'll go from there. All right, so I actually pick up my trash as well. So in the trash can. Secondly, fixing that one wire, we now have brakes. See? We did not have those before. So that's all it was. Yeah, look at the wiring. Like, I'm gonna be replacing all of this when I get home, but look at that. Using those things. Yeah, I'm gonna redo all of it, like I said. We're not gonna leave that like that. So while I was in there too, I noticed it needed equalizers. I said, I didn't pay much for the trailer, but you can see in there, this bushing is completely gone. And the stopper is also gone. So we're gonna need equalizers, wiring. I know the brakes were done. I know the tires were done. I have receipts for all that shit, but you can see a little bit of alignment wear on the new tires. So this isn't a trailer to be running full time. I just needed something to cover for the shop, and it was cheap. It was like $6 grand for everything. So we'll be doing my magic touches to it here in a little bit. All right, so I just went into Harbor Freight. I was looking for a winch and ramps and this and that, and I have that stuff at home. I was like, all right, how expensive could it be to find this stuff? Well, the ramps I can't even get locally rated to what I need to get this truck tomorrow for a customer of mine. It would cost me about $1,200 realistically to get everything, right? So I said, all right, screw it. Let me call a tow truck and see how much it would cost for them to pick the truck up, put it on the trailer, bada bing, bada boom, right? They said $175. I said, perfect. Customer said he'll go halves, and I said, all right, I can deal with that. So not even $100 for either of us. I'm not doing my math right now, but let's get down there to Alabama, and then we got to bring this truck up, and we are open for the next month, probably until midway through August, if not all the way through August, for trailer and diesel repair. So let me know if you guys need anything. Still fighting to get the website up. I was supposed to get a link. I don't know what's going on with the emails and whatnot, but I got a new card, and so website should be up pretty soon. I'm gonna start heading down there, and yeah, let's get going. All right, so the shit show that you guys love begins, and it makes me not regret buying this trailer. So you can see I have brakes, you know, but they definitely don't all work. I can tell you that. They definitely do not all work. So next time I stop, I'm gonna start going over all of that stuff as well. They're definitely gonna have to be taken care of before I pick up the truck or at the time of picking up the truck. Yeah, they'll hold me in place, but they definitely are far from superior to stopping. So let's get on down the road, and we'll get these fixed at my next stop, because I need to stop and get a shower in a little bit. All right, it is the next day. Finally, we're at the customer's house. So, long story short, I am picking up a customer truck going back up to Pennsylvania. It has electrical problems after installing. The motor is installed, then new batteries were installed, and there was some electrical problems. So we're taking that up to Pennsylvania. That is going to be one of our shop projects yet. And yeah, so there is nowhere to park. These little driveways are super tight. So as Big Dad would say, we're going to park this thing right smack in the middle of the goddamn road. If you guys get that reference, go fuck your mom. But let's go look at this truck. And, ooh, the camera just got all humid and whatnot. But yeah, see how humid that is? So we're picking that one up right there. I got a tow company on the way. Instead of going out last night and buying the ramps, there we go. Instead of going out last night and buying the ramps, because I went and priced everything out and it was just way too much to justify. So, yeah, we got plenty of chains, plenty of binders. So we'll get this thing all smacked down. And then this thing, I'm noticing, I think it's either this axle or the other side. I'm noticing a little bit of camber wear to it. Actually, it looks straight from this angle, but I think from turning they were angled. But yeah, there might be a little bit of an alignment problem with this back axle back here. So we're going to be getting that taken care of too. I was thinking about not running this trailer, but I do think that I'm going to try to run it and see if there's any like local stuff that I can do with this thing. But tow company should be here in about a half hour. The plan was to like buy the hitch receiver thing, but the only one it works with is a 12K winch, and I don't need a 12K, especially if I'm going to run the line down and then bring it back to itself. It doubles the winching power. I don't need a $700 setup. All right, we got her all loaded up. We got one chain in the front, one chain in the rear. We'll be all right. I'll check it down the road. I just feel like getting out of here, bring it back to itself and hooked. But she's pretty tight for what it is. There we go. So we'll tighten up the front a little bit. We're gonna get out of here. Man, Bertha does not feel this trailer, but I'll tell you what, the fuel mileage does. I'm filling up again. I think I'm using the last of the tank, but everything's been doing all right. I did stop to tighten the chains earlier and I redid them and they are tight as hell. We got about 8 hours to go until I'm home, but she's moving pretty good. Trailer's doing all right. Still got fuel. I'm hoping I have enough to fill this tank up, but this traffic is fucked. Other than that, this thing hasn't moved, luckily. I was waiting for that thing to fly off and fucking hit somebody in traffic, because that thing is a heavy bitch, and I gotta fix the handle because when I rolled it, it bent over itself, so that was kind of fucked. And then he tied this down, so I'll go over this thing once we get back, but probably just gonna park the trailer when I get home. This is gonna be Monday's project. And we got we got maintenance items to do on Bertha. We got a bunch of stuff to do to this. He said if I can get this thing working, we're gonna be putting a lift kit on it. So keep that in mind as well. All right, so we got about 5 hours until I get home and everything's been doing great. So I do want to go out a couple of little plans for you guys, being that I do have this trailer, because I've thought about it more and more. And I'm like, you know, it would be cool if I could kind of balance the work with shop and home life and all that. So I've thought about it more. I've talked to a few people. I'm going to try to run local stuff with some freight and see if I can build up a customer base. And I get a question every now and again about what brokers or this and that, who do I use? And I'm not able to give out that information, guys. Just keep that in mind. I spent years building up my clientele for directs, and I can't just give you guys that information for free. Like, that's not how that works. You have to actually go out and do the work yourself to get these directs, because me telling, hey, this guy, and you call them and they're gonna be like, I don't know who the fuck you are, and then not use you. So keep that in mind. So I'm gonna try to build up a clientele with this, with freight. We'll see what happens. Obviously I'm gonna fix the trailer before I use it. I'm going to be getting some Cooper Discover AT3 tires for these once these get a little bit more bald. We're going to be repacking the bearings, checking the brakes, new suspension, fixing the lights, fixing any damage on the trailer. And I'm going to be replacing all the lights with the style of lights that I like, because you can see that light's out, but these are all going to be white. Obviously they're going to illuminate red, but they're going to be white or clear lens. And that's how I'm going to do that, because I'm just going to do that, and we'll see how it works out. If it doesn't work out, it is what it is. I'm just brainstorming here. just kind of throwing out ideas. It's cool because we have these guys here, so I can throw straps to them. I have plenty of straps and chains and all that stuff. So if I can run locally, I'm gonna try to pull it off as best I can. I might fail, and I might have to go back to OTR or just do shop full time, but I'm gonna try. We'll see what happens. I'm not gonna say it's a foolproof plan, but I really can't wait to get this thing in the shop and show you guys kind of what's going on with it. Look at these nice gnarly tires. He said he's not gonna throw any money into it until the engine is in and physically runs and everything. Then he's gonna throw money at it. It's getting new tires. I have the lift kit that he said we could throw the lift kit on it. It's a 5-inch lift. We're throwing the whole front end on. We got to bolt the torque converter up to the flywheel, or flex plate, sorry. Just all that little stuff. The intercooler and the bumpers in the bed. But for what it is, and it's got a 5-inch little muffler in the back. Definitely used and abused truck, but you can see engine's painted, stock tranny pan. There's definitely a lot of wiring on this truck that concerns me, and one of those things, like things that I wouldn't do to my truck. I can see wires that run the whole way up and then back here, and stuff that's cut. Like, me personally, if I were to go to buy Bertha and like I would have seen wires like that, I definitely would have walked. But I bought this truck sight unseen, and I mean, for the problems that I got unlucky with, it's like, it's just throw the parts in and call it a day. Probably gonna get these wheels painted. Let me go make sure that they're all for the same steel wheels. Probably get them painted and cleaned up. I wanna make this thing nice. We're gonna be replacing all of the reflective tape. Yeah, so all these wheels are the same, so we can get those painted. Probably just gonna do them in black. The boards I'm not gonna worry about for now. And I think that wheel might be different, but that's a brand new tire. But yeah, wheel's different. So that's pretty much where I'm gonna call it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and got to see some of the, I was gonna do some cool little shots here and there, but I'm kind of in a hurry. I just stopped here to piss. I gotta go get fuel one more time using Mud Flap. Link in the description if you want to use it. Saves me a ton of money on fuel. Fuel right now is like $4 a gallon here. I'm getting it for $3.27, and you guys can get it for cheaper than that. But yeah, let me know if you guys are interested in this thing, and let me know what you guys want to see with the trailer, because I am going to be doing a full refurbished video on this. The same thing that I did with my Kaufman trailer. Like, these lights, they're all going to be white, and then these will obviously illuminate amber, and then that one will illuminate red. But I got to go through, I'm going to rewire this whole trailer. We are going to be putting a junction box up on the top like I did on the last one, and then one right before the brakes we're going to have a junction box too, and then all new wiring. I'm going to rewire this entire trailer from top to bottom, pull out all the bullshit, and redo all of it and make it nice. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Also, apologize about the website. It's supposed to be up. The guy that does my website for me said he sent me the link or multiple times, and I've been checking my email and it's not in there. I literally just need to put my new card info in and pay for it. I think it's like 15 bucks, and the links have not been coming through. I don't know what the deal is. My email works and I haven't been able to get a hold of them, so I just want the website back up, and then we're gonna be doing some reworking to that probably in a couple of months.